how do we stop land grabbing right here in the city?
Already, we are already setting a template that if the state can copy and magnify, it will solve the land grabbing problem. It's a simple template in 1 minute. Land administration, one of the best is Abuja, the AGIS, Abuja Geographic Information System, has captured all the land in Abuja, has a seamless registration system through the local government or what they call the Abuja councils and the AGIS authority, so that if you want to buy a land, you just go to this authority, everything has been done. For Rivers State to do that, there are already 5 structures that must align and are already aligning in 11 local government. The first structure is the Community Development Committee. They must ratify and verify all lands within their territorial territory. Using the boundary system. There are 5 authorities that if they align and do what we call land cataloging and land administration, land grabbing can be ended this week. And the 11 local government has set a very beautiful precedent. A lesser community where we are building has set a very beautiful precedent. These 5 authorities are the 5 different authorities that are involved in land ratification. Before you buy a land, there is a community level of authority called the Community Development Committee. They must catalog all lands within their community. There's no community in Rivers State too big for the paramount ruler, the king, and the CDC to know their boundaries and landowners. Foreigners don't own lands. Aboriginal owners are from that community. So they must know that OKK family owns 10 plus there. So the CDC must catalog all their lands. And before you buy any land in any community, you must get clarification and clearance from the CDC. The next is the Palace of the King. Kings are the original custodians of land, and that's why rent is called royalty. The king must also verify what the CDC is doing, so that in case we have a corrupt CDC government, the king will call them to order. So every land you buy in any community in Rivers State that has a king, you must have clearance from the king. The third is what LMA local government has just done. They've come in to stop land grabbers and asked us that are the valid developers to come and get clarification and clearance from the local government. After all, it is the local government that has development control. It is them that have development approval. So before you even buy a land, you should know what the land use is. If it's a commercial land, you are not supposed to build a house on it. If it's a residential land, you are not supposed to turn. So every land has a purpose. And when these 3 authorities align, you can't buy land without clearing from these 3 people. You can't enter the community without clearing from these 3 people. Any fraudulent person won't want to go there. And then they make it a crime in Rivers State for any Aboriginal landowner or family to sell land more than once to more than one customer. Then these 3 will now shift your documentation to Surveyor General's Office and Ministry of Land. When these 5 align, now is a simple process. I want to buy Martin's land in Alessa. Martin shows me that this land is his land. I go to CDC. Martin showed me this survey that is his land. Is this his land? They say yes. Is it clear to sell? Yes. They will stamp it. I take it to the Palace of the King. Is this land clear? CDC told me it's Martin's land. They will say yes. They will stamp it. I take it to the local government. Is this land? These 2 people say this land belongs to Martin's. They stamp it. And then give me this stamps document to now take to Surveyor General's Office to survey the land in my name. And then come back and do a deed of conveyance with Martin's. After I do the deed of conveyance, which is very important, I go back to the Surveyor General's Office and say, we've done the deed of conveyance, which will be stamped by these 3 people. And they will now register the land in the Surveyor General's office as Mayor's land. From Martins has sold to Mayor. The new owner is Mayor. And then transmit it to the Ministry of Lands, where all this will now be in their database that this aboriginal land owned by Martin's family was sold to Mayor of Housing. Mayor is the new owner, and then I'll register that deed and start to process my land rent and C of O. Tomorrow, if anybody wants to come and buy that Martin's land that does not consult the Mayor of Housing, Mr. Chukwu comes and say he wants to buy the same land, and the CDC find out, they will say it's fraud. Don't buy, meet Mayor. If Martin's family wants to sell the same land they have sold to Mayor, because that's where the root of the problem starts, to another person, buyer, the CDC will arrest Martins, the king will approve, they will send him to the police, from the police he will go to prison. No other family will want to try reselling land twice. And everybody that wants to buy land knows that if these three people certify this land, at the community level, you have CDC, you have the king, you have the local government. At the state level, you have Surveyor General's office and Ministry of Lands. And then there's even little revenue generation avenue for all these authorities. An investor will prefer to pay 10,000 naira for a committee to verify the land he wants to buy, for his 10 million naira to be protected, than to go and lose 10 million naira.
Exactly.
So if each of these verification process, the state can turn it into revenue production for both the community. Land verification is 10,000. Imagine if those inquiries get revenues at the Surveyor General's office, Ministry of Land, CDC. They will create enough revenue to do some things in terms of infrastructure.
Interesting.